Hey everyone.
Hey, Bonnie, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. And I think it's funny that, tomorrow there could be a big snowstorm, and I'm kind of wondering if we're going to really get it or not. So,
I know. I know. We were just talking about how in the olden days,
oh my God.
how you'd have to go downstairs and if you're living in a state where you're not used to this, but it was pretty cool. You'd run downstairs, sit in front of the TV, wait for your school name to come up and to have a snow day. But now they're canceling schools already today. So
And I don't know if they think it's because it's going to start, they say, at like in the
6
morning.
a.m. I think.
Yes.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just think, gonna buckle down and go for it and whatever. So,
Yeah.
so Bonnie, one of the things that we're going to talk about today is the follow up system that Mary Kay has always put in place, and it's 222. And one of the things that I love about this is that it doesn't matter if it was yesterday, 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, the follow up system works. And Bonnie, what does it mean 222? What does that mean?
To follow up with your customer, let's say you have a new customer, you met with somebody, doesn't even have to be new, but you met with somebody to follow up in 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months.
Yep. Yep. And Bonnie, I always had to laugh. Like when we were growing up in Mary Kay, the basic skincare was 5 pieces. It was a cleanser, it was a mask, a freshener, a moisturizer, and then there was protection
Foundation.
or a foundation.
Mhm. Yep.
So when I would call in 2 days, I would start to laugh because I would be like, Susie Q, I'm just calling to make sure that the bag made it in your bathroom and that you opened up all the boxes. And she would I would say jokingly, but Bonnie, I was just so surprised. I mean, when I bought something, man, that bag went up, into my bedroom, the bathroom, and like the boxes got saved and the products were like Jimmy on the spot used right away. But there are some women who don't. So it never amazed me to that when you call them in 2 days, have you even started using the products? So
Mhm.
Bonnie, when you called after 2 days, what did you find?
I found, I didn't ask them that, but you know what I did ask them? Hey, Dawn, it's Bonnie.
Hey, Bonnie.
I was calling to see how many compliments you've been getting on your skin already because I want you to hear, like, we want to follow up and make sure everything's working okay. But you really don't
Yes.
want to call and say, hey, Dawn, I was just calling to see if all your products are working. Okay.
Yep.
Because then Dawn's probably thinking, oh, I guess I should have a problem.
Well,
So when you ask if how she's enjoying the product or how many compliments she's gotten on it, or if it's
yep.
in the bathroom and she's using it,
Yep.
it's a whole different vibe.
Yeah. And some of it was just make sure that she had, it was feeling good with her routine and stuff like that. Because back then, you kind of have to know, like it was more so of knowing the order of application. Because now we have a cleanser and we have a day cream, a cleanser and a night cream, and that's kind of easy. So, and then in 2 weeks, she would really be noticing um, she's getting a feel for her routine and things like that. And then it was important back then to make sure she was incorporating the mask into her routine because we needed a separate exfoliation time. And I don't know, it was just a matter of how she was feeling and what was her skin saying to her. And that was the exciting thing is as you would start to hear people
Mhm.
say, oh, my blackheads are being reduced, or like my face isn't as shiny as it used to be, and it's very healthy. So
Well, Mary Kay always talked about every woman deserves a second facial. So during our appointments, we would talk about the second facial, the second facial. When we get together again in 2 weeks, when we
yep,
get together again, second facial, we're going to check and make sure that's the right color. We're going to check and make sure you have the right moisturization. We're going to go through and make sure it's correct. So
yes,
ideally in 2 weeks, you're getting together with her for a follow-up appointment.
yes,
But so a couple things that I did is one, I either booked her for her own party in 2 weeks, or I maybe had a facial morning at my house on Saturday morning for everybody, like the follow-up facials, like it was a glamour morning. And also at that appointment, when I mentioned glamour, it was a time that you could teach her and introduce her to some more things. At
Yes.
my appointments, I always say, like, oh, if I showed you everything tonight, we'd be having a slumber party. Or, oh, and we're going to keep it really simple tonight. We're just going to do a quickie, simple glamour look. And at your follow-up appointment, we're going to get together and we're going to play a little bit more with different colors and things like that. How's that sound? And you're nodding your head. So really to promote getting together again in that within that time frame, because then she'll be loving the products, and when she's a hostess, she'll be able to convey that love to her friends and
Yeah.
your future customers. So you don't even have to work. Like, she's telling them how much she loves it.
Well, and it's easier than sometimes I would get to, if she was doing a party, I would get to her house first and do her specialized glamour look. So then as her guest came, she could help me with satin hands, and she could be more the helper with
Mhm.
the class. And that
Mhm.
it just worked well because she was feeling really confident about how she looked, and she wanted to show off to her friends what her face looked like. And that was
Mhm.
always so much fun. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So
And
Dawn, what did you do in 2 months?
well, I think Mary Kay, the woman, was genius when she said 2 months. Because if you saw the size of our products, Bonnie, back then, if somebody was just using the products themselves, if they were sharing with somebody else, the cleanser and the freshener would probably last 3 to 4 months. So you would have caught her before she ran out. Okay. And you would be able to make sure that she was using all the products. Because, Bonnie, some women struggle with doing that many steps. So maybe they were using the cleanser and the moisturizer, but then we chatted with them to talk to them about the benefits of using the freshener, so that way everything was removed from the skin and the skin was pH balanced. And then the benefit of masking. So it was just a matter of talking to them and seeing how they were. And
Well, in today's world too, you might have, because we have the cleanser, the day cream, the night cream, the eye cream, and you can even, I find in today's world, people might be skipping an eye cream. Or I have many times people are like, oh, I get really slack at night.
don't do night.
And then I
Don't do
can
night.
give
Yeah.
them like hints like, hey, wash your face at 6 o'clock and put on your night cream, or keep your night cream next to your bed. So you can give them ideas like that.
Bonnie, I went upstairs at 2:30 and I was going to wash my face. And I'm like, I can't wash my face because we're doing lunch and learn and consult and confident. But otherwise, since I knew I wasn't going out, I would have washed my face. And it makes
Yep.
it so easy because then when I wind down after supper and I sit down, maybe I watch a TV show, I don't have to go upstairs and go, I have to wash my face now. So, I mean, those are the things you find out. And the other thing is, it's just nice, once somebody gets on a system, then to say to her, so now that you're loving your skin, is there anything else that you might want to work on? And that's when she might say, well, maybe getting more dead skin off, or maybe I would like a mask, or, that's your chance to start talking to her about other products. But really, with all honesty, if you say to her when she's purchasing products, I'm going to be checking in with you in 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months, then when you do, you shouldn't feel uncomfortable because you told her that's what you're going to do. And it's just great customer service. And guess what? In these day and ages, you don't get customer service like that. So don't think about it that you're calling for an order. You're just calling to make sure she's really loving what's her products. Right, Bonnie?
Yes. I also find during that 2 week time, we do different glamour looks, or we
Yep.
have product introductions. So it's a great time just to follow up with her, but then to say, Dawn, we have new spring products that are just coming, like
Yes.
just making their entryway.
Yeah.
I'd love to get together and give you a peek at them. Is there any reason why we couldn't set up a time? So just to extend that invitation. And if she doesn't want to, she'll tell you, or she'll say, well, I'm really busy this month. Try me next. And write them down, and it's just good customer service. And you know what? When you tell somebody you're going to call in 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, do
Do it.
because that makes
Yes.
you a woman of your word.
Yes. The other thing that I must say has really helped me with my follow-up is I try to make notes about her, some about her personally, maybe about her job, or maybe she's doing
Kids.
kids program. Maybe she has an ill parent. Maybe I write notes so that when I call her, like today, I called one of my customers and I said, Sue, how are you feeling? I know you've been having some problems with her back. And she goes, Dawn, it's still here. And I said, I'm sorry. I'll just continue to pray. And you know what? She goes, thank you, Dawn. And she goes, but I've been meaning to call you because I need one of those moisturizers. So, then it wasn't about calling and selling her something, but it was just nice. It was nice just making her feel good. And that's what I like about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you, and everybody has a different way to keep track of people, but in my customers, there's a place where you can do notes. So you can write a note like, called Susie or called her to check on her skincare, called her to ask about new products.
Yep.
Called her about this.
Yep.
So you can make notes. So when you bring her up and you're going to call and her name's right there, you can see exactly the activity that you had.
Bonnie, the other thing is when you're working with a customer during your first appointment, a lot of times you'll write notes on the back, like likes this or likes that. And so write notes and put those in there. So that way, let's say a new product comes out and she likes bronzers, then you can go, oh my goodness, you had said you like bronzers and guess what we have. So you're just calling her to educate her about what we have. And that's always fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It makes us look so smart.
Well, you know what, Bonnie? It's
Kind.
easy. And it's just, I set up time. You don't have to do customer service for hours, but it's worth the time that you invest because people, if they don't speak to you today, in the next week, they'll call you and say, oh, I'm glad you called. I need this and this, or I'd like to hear more about this. So it's just a matter of, do not think they're going to call you. Life is busy and you need to reach out to them. So, yeah.
Perfect.
So, all right, Bonnie.
Let us know how your 2 + 2 + 2 goes. We can't wait to hear your results.
All right. Thanks, Bonnie. And have
Bye,
a great
everyone.
day, you guys.
Bye, Dawn.
All right. Bye-bye.